I am back cooking from my beautiful, stunning vintage potato cookbook. Look at this. Remember when I said to the publishers I just want a potato on the front of my book? This is what I dreamed of having one day. So this book is actually from the 1970s by an author, Gwen Robyns, and I'm making my way through some of the more weird and wonderful recipes, or the ones that I kind of fancy. So today it's a potato roly poly. There's no description. there's no like, what is this? But I'm going to assume from the method, this is basically, it's like a potato and sausage Scotch egg, but it's rolled into a long roly poly thing and then covered in tomato soup. Wild. Okay, so ingredients: potatoes boiled, peeled and mashed, sausage meat, an onion, thyme, chopped parsley, 4 hard-boiled eggs, 1 egg beaten, white breadcrumbs, bacon fat, and a can of tomato soup. The method: blend the potatoes and sausage meat with the herbs. Yeah, shape into a roll and then make a hollow down the centre. Place the hard-boiled eggs at regular intervals. Roll it to close, brush with beaten egg, roll into breadcrumbs, bake at 180 in the oven and in the fat of the bacon for an hour. An hour! Those eggs are going to be rock hard. They're already hard boiled. And in the last quarter of an hour, pour the can of soup over it. Gwen, you were smoking some serious when you wrote this book. She was hungry. Oh my God. Brilliant. So that's what we're going to be making today. So I have mashed potato already done, because I didn't feel like you needed to see how to make mashed potato. This is obviously more than 450 grams, so I'm going to weigh that out. And then we just need everything else. I've also got some hard-boiled eggs done. So it's just mixing, rolling, stuffing, coating, baking, and slathering is what we're going to be doing today. Potato roly-poly. Will this make it into my repertoire of dishes that I make on the regular? Let's find out, eh? Okay, potato roly-poly. We've got 450 grams of potatoes boiled, peeled and mashed. I love how, anyway. We've got 450 grams of sausage meat, equal parts sausage to potato. We like a meat and 2 veg. We've got 1 onion, which just says 1 onion, but then it doesn't get used, but I'm going to chop it and put it in. I'm going to assume that is. I do really enjoy this book because there's absolutely no pictures, no real instructions, and it's just roll with it. A teaspoon of thyme, so I'll put a bit of thyme in, parsley, hard-boiled eggs, da-da-da-da-da. Perfect. Okay, so we're mixing this together. Chop my onion quickly. I'm going to go for quite a fine dice. I feel like you wouldn't want, in your potato roly-poly, like we all know, you wouldn't really want a big, hefty chunk of onion. So we'll get that chopped up. And basically, you mix everything together. The only other thing that we need is bacon fat. So in there, I've got 150 grams of bacon lardons in a cold pan. They're lovely and fatty, and hopefully we'll render out enough bacon fat for this dish. I want 3 tablespoons. I'm making bacon fat, but I feel like if in the 70s you could buy, could you buy bacon fat? If anyone has the information on whether or not you could just pick up bacon fat in the 1970s, please let me know, because that needs to have a renaissance. Bring back shop-bought bacon fat, because that sounds absolutely incredible. But I want it marketed as, maybe I should do it. I want it marketed as bacon fat, not lard, not like pig schmear, bacon fat. Pig schmear sounds absolutely disgusting. Don't ever market it as pig schmear. I've also had a look to see if there was any cultural reference to this dish on the internet. And like Tom, my other half, is like the FBI when it comes to finding online and can't find anything. I think this recipe went into this book, and I don't know if it ever saw the light of day. Oh, I said I was going to do a small chop on this, but I'm doing quite a rough one now. Fact check in the corner. In the 1970s, bacon fat wasn't something you bought. Oh, okay, so it was actually, and you know what? My nan did that. Yeah, that makes sense. Every time you cook bacon, you'd then, well, actually, me and my family, we would then wipe our bread in the bacon fat for the bacon sandwich. But I can see, yeah, you save that off the tray, off the pan. Right. So you know what, housewives, when we're just, you know, in the house dilly-dallying, making bacon sandwiches, just save that bacon fat, babes. Save it. Because you can make a delicious potato roly-poly with it for dinner. Someone should make bacon fat, though, as a product. I mean, the market on that surely would be quite... I would buy bacon fat. You know, just like a touch, when it's touch caramelised as well. And you get those... That's one of my favourite parts of cooking for people in the morning. You know, when you have people stay over and you're a bit hungover, just me, and you make everyone a bacon sandwich. That tray, because if it's for like mass cooking, I put it in the oven. That tray underneath, that is for me. Nobody else. There's a slice of cheap white bread getting slathered through that bacon fat. I'm actually out of breath talking about that. So I'm so excited by it. It's time to blend. It's time to mash my sausage up. So, onions go in, I think. Again, the rest of the recipe doesn't actually say where this onion goes in. Herbs, we've got parsley and thyme going in. And then we just smush together, mash. This does have the beginning of quite a nice recipe. These as little breaded balls would be very delicious. Basically, this series is just me testing out for the potato cookbook number 2. And whether I smash or pass it into my own words. No, I'm joking. I'm actually not going to, unless it's really good. I don't think there's any seasoning. No salt, no pepper. Should I add salt and pepper to make... I'm going to. That's a very good point. I'm going to overrule and again take the executive decision to put a bit of salt and pepper in it. Should I go classic? Okay, I'll go as the recipe says. Well, in that case, I've added onion for no reason. That's fairly evenly distributed. Mash and sausage. Smells quite nice, actually. We've got bacon fat rendering. Amazing. Now what do we do? Shape into a roll and make a hollow down the centre. Place a hard-boiled egg at regular intervals. Roll to close. Okay, I'm going to put some cling film down and make a roll. Did you have cling film in the 70s? Yeah, you did. We're going to shape into a roll, make a hollow down the centre. This is a lot of sausage and potato for 4 eggs. Maybe it doesn't need to be that big. Okay. 2 hands around my sausage roll. That's too far, isn't it, really? That's way too far. Oh, that was a mistake. That looks terrible. Right. I think that seems around 4 eggs worth of length. And then make a hollow down the centre. Gwen, what the hell was going on here? I thought the 70s was meant to be liberating for women. I'm not sensible enough for this. Oh, these are hard-boiled eggs, by the way. I did them earlier. And they're hard-boiled eggs. I love it. Okay, and then we enclose them. And it says, and roll, so I'm assuming at some point we can flip this over. I have made a lot of sausage, phallic-looking rolls before in like my career, in terms of, you know, you make ballotines and you roll them and stuff. But this is, I have not done an encased hard-boiled egg in sausage and mash. No, I haven't. This is new to me. But this could be one of the best things I've ever eaten. I am going to just try and get it more of a even... If I was really going to get into it, I would then wrap it in cling film and start properly rolling it. But that's not what Gwen wanted. And honestly, I don't want to her off from beyond the grave. I've already slagged it off. I'm not now going to do it wrong. I just want to make sure that the circumference of the roly poly is even the whole way. Gwen, if you're watching down, Let me know. Show me a sign. This is where I get a little bit perfectionist with these sort of things. So just bear with me, where you have a montage of 10 minutes of me trying to get the most perfect, even looking roly poly. Oh, now it's a twist. It's not even me that's doing this. This is the team. Now, roll it close, brush with beaten egg, and roll in breadcrumbs. Egg. In the recipe, it's 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. I'm going to add a few more in because I don't think it's going to quite get over the behemoth of sausage that we have here. This serving 4 people is quite incredible. Also, there's no like setting or anything. God, it's the size of my arm. Bloody hell, Gwen, how'd you do this on your own? Right, I'm gonna flomp it that way. Dress there. It's definitely a showstopper if you made this for a dinner party. I mean, I already know what I'm gonna choose as a thumbnail to the opener of this video. I mean, there's a lot of content there that we can use. The thing is, it's hard not to make it silly, isn't it, really? Because it's a massive... It's like something you read in one of your romantic fantasies or whatever they're called. I can't work out how to do this. I'm going to flip it. You know what? That doesn't look half bad, actually, at the minute. Okay, that's fairly evenly coated, breaded, rolled, and now baked in the oven with the bacon fat for an hour. Okay, so the bacon fat, we're going on not set bacon fat, just all over. That goes into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, convection oven, no fan. This is the 70s. Can we please get funeral music on, because we've had an absolute travesty. I've just opened the oven 45 minutes to get my beautiful sausage and potato meat roly-poly has completely disintegrated. I feel like that guy on Bake Off who his cake was completely falling apart and then he put it in acetate and then it came back together. I just don't know how to save this because we're about to tip tomato soup all over it. Oh no. When we were doing it, I'd put this in the fridge or freezer to set for a little bit, but it wasn't in the recipe. I'm on Operation Save My Sausage. Okay, so it had fallen apart a bit, and that's because mash is wet, sausage meat is pretty wet in the steam, and it kind of like opens up. I half expected it, but it was going quite well. So I'm gonna try my best just to remold it and really tightly pack it in. Also, when you're making something that's sausage shaped, and I was talking about ballotine and rolling really, really tight, there's probably still some air pockets in there from when I just hand rolled it, which will again have heated up with steam, and the steam has to go somewhere else, and it opens. So if I do ever make this again, I would make it a lot tighter and I'd set it and leave it, which is probably, might have been in Gwen's mind. She might have thought that's what people would have thought of when they made it. But I'm just gonna tuck it all back in. I'm gonna put some support bits on. It's never gonna go like properly back together because half of it's already kind of cooked. So we're losing some of that stodge that we want, the starch from the potatoes that actually keeps it together. But that is quite a good salvage job. We're gonna go with a salvage job. I'm a bit worried about putting the tomato soup over it now because it's gonna be wet onto soft, but it is what it is. It's what Gwen would have wanted. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put these over here, like that. And then, according to the recipe, it's a whole can of tomato soup. So I've got the classic, a little cream of tomato soup here. This bit, once it had got like golden, would probably be lovely, but this then makes it a little bit rogue. This is wild. It looks quite nice though. The tomato soup is adding a lovely orange tinge. Should I go, I've only used like a quarter. She said the whole tin. She said the whole tin. I think it's completely coated. I don't think there's any point. I'm trying to put it back together because now that looks hideous. Okay, well that goes back into the oven for the final 15 minutes. And then I can munch down on this delicious thing. Wish me luck. Kat's bringing it in. She was getting it out of the oven for me. Here we go. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow. The tomato soup seems to have maybe held it together a bit more. It looks like a massive Cheeto or a what's it. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how you get it off of that tray. Let's remove these. Oh, they're hot. Don't know why I didn't think they'd be hot, but they are. The tomato soup smells good. This is one of the most intriguing looking recipes I've ever done. I'm excited to see the cross section. You got the eggs in there. Oh, I've got tomato soup all over me. You got the sausage meat, potato. Now it's covered in soup. I'm gonna try and cut. I'm gonna try and cut a slice of it. I mean, we've got plenty to waste. It's not like. Oh my God, I'm scared. You can't even hold it. Gwen, how are you serving this, sweet? Oh, it's soft. It's very soft. Oh my God. I'm genuinely scared. I want to get a nice eggy cross section because that hard-boiled egg is hard. Potato Roly Poly is ready. She's stood to attention. We've got her up. We've got a lovely egg cross section. It actually doesn't look half bad. Considering we had a disaster where it all fell apart and we've pushed it together and it's got a tin of tomato soup on it, it looks quite nice. Okay, I'm going in. The outside is very soft, the inside is very soft, and the egg is very hard. The breadcrumbs have done nothing to, I don't know, kind of give any sort of structural ingenuity. Not a word. Maybe a word? Not the right word. I need to go again. Hang on. Let me understand what the hell is happening. That's quite nice. No, yes, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat that question? That is really, the texture's wrong. Just, it's so soft. The whole thing is just soft, soft, soft. And then you get this very, not rubbery, but a very hard boiled egg. The tomato soup's really nice. The flavour's lovely with the parsley and the thyme and the sausage meat. The mash doesn't actually taste of any mash anywhere. It just gives it this really soft texture. And the breadcrumbs, because they kind of weren't really that crispy anyway, are now really soft and covered in tomato soup. Overall, it's not the worst thing I've ever eaten. It's not like repugnant, but would I make it again? No. So it is a pass for me. I think there's another dish in there somewhere. I've got inspiration from it, like a little sausage, potato, hash breakfast situation. But I don't think... I think everyone in the 70s was absolutely off their rocker because the wild food that came out of the 70s is unbelievable. It's going to be a pass, unfortunately. I was hoping for something more. But it is just soft sausage and a boiled egg. Interesting. I am going to be making some more recipes from this potato cookbook. Such beautiful things like pluckfisk. Pluckfisk. I just literally pulled out the first thing I saw. Don't know what that is, have absolutely no idea. One of the recipes is just called piglet. Brilliant. So like and subscribe, follow for more, and let me know in the comments if you've got any other weird and wonderful potato recipes that you want me to try, especially if they're from the 70s or 50s or 60s or any other weird time.